Okay, good evening. This is Debbie Davis. I just wanted to do another video tonight because I am just hearing some of the things on the media that just really have been irritating me. So I want to do another video exposing some more things, some more truths, basically. So, just recently the news have been talking about, it's not even real sources. Like, where are they even getting this information? That Trump is supposedly this, calling veterans losers or something. I mean, this is not accurate information. This is the fake news. I mean, he's never done that. I have said in previous videos how much better the VA is under Trump, and I have also he's also going to Walter Reed Medical Center all the time to visit injured veterans and things like that. So I mean, these are just like, they're just like grasping at straws. It's so irritating to me. So that's why I want to do another video today. But there's also more things coming out about McCain that I wanted to touch on too. So that's another reason why I want to do a video tonight. And but basically, because it all ties in together, okay? Because the media is involved in the cover-up of things that involve McCain. So it's all intertwined. That's why I wanted to do a video tonight. So if you have not I the information that's been coming out about John McCain by Austin Steinbart, I will include the link on this video. But basically, John McCain was the head of the D6. Okay, and I have said this in a couple other videos prior. So the D6 was apparently the deep state in America, and also the deep state, and also the MI6 involved in Europe. Okay, and so I've been researching, when this all started, and it's all kind of coming together. And so here, let me just take this off, and I'm just gonna so people can see, so I can kind of read my notes a little bit better. So okay, so the D6, John McCain was the commander of the D6, okay, the deep state. Okay, so he was involved in assassinating people all over the world, not just in the United States, but worldwide. They were involved in assassinations. And okay, when did this start? Okay, starting in World War II. I'll include the link. Austin Steinbart talks about it. This started in World War II. Okay. So what happened was, apparently, okay. The D6 is involved in assassin agreements between countries. They have been involved in assassinating people, cover-ups. Okay, and they have been involved in covert military operations. Okay, it's a covert military, paramilitary wing of the D6. Okay, so that's basically what we're dealing with is, okay, so basically what Austin Steinbart is talking about is that it's gone on since World War II. Okay, so involves Operation Paperclip. Okay, and they've been involved in okay, wait, hold on. Cover-ups, Harry Truman. Okay, they've been involved in basically assassinations, all kinds of covert military operations. Basically, this is throughout the whole world that this has been going on. Okay, so this is not just a this is not just a United States thing, so basically what I'm trying to say is that, I'll include the link of what he has been exposing, this Austin Starbart. But basically, my understanding is that this started in World War II, is that there was some kind of agreement between our country and the Brits to start classifying things as D6, apparently it started with Hitler's scientists being brought over to America, and they started something called Operation Paperclip, which was a secret program of the Joint Intelligence Objectives Agencies, carried out by the Special Agent Army CIC, in which more than 1,600 German scientists, engineers, technicians, and such, like Werner von Braun, were brought to the United States. Okay. So then they joined this. They created this joint first operation to do secret things, basically secret dirty things. It's not what it sounds like to me. Okay. Werner von Braun was an American, German aerospace engineer. He was the leading figure of rocket technology in Nazi Germany and a pioneer of rocket and space technology in the United States. Okay, so it seems to me that when this started, it was our president over here. It seems to be Harry Truman was involved in this. It seems to me, from what, World War II era. So it seems to me that that's when this started. So apparently there was an agreement that they started classifying this, certain things as D6, and it's created all these cover-ups and all of these this misinformation and all these assassinations. Okay, so we'll just assassinate anybody who knows too much about certain information, and it's not just in the United States, it's all over the world. And this was John McCain was involved in this. He was the command, and his father and his grandfather. Okay, so Operation Paperclip was a secret program of the Joint Intelligence Objectives Agency, largely carried out by Special Agent Army CIC. Okay, so basically, the Nazis have been over here. The Nazi scientists have been over here since World War II, and they are now the deep state. They are now part of the deep state. They are now part of the D6, which was involved with John McCain. Okay, so basically, anybody that has been involved in trying to expose John McCain prior to me and Austin Starbart apparently has been, they're not even, they somehow disappeared or been executed or went crazy. I mean, this is a very serious thing here, and I have been targeted for years now, just trying to report some simple crimes at a military base, but it involved John McCain. So anything that involves John McCain, you get on this list apparently, where you're targeted by the deep state in this D6 operation. Okay, so believe me, I know how serious this is, and because I'm living proof. Okay, so I so anyway, what I wanted to talk about today is regarding the fact that the news keeps making up these fake information about Trump. And what I wanted to say is that that they have to know that that McCain was executed, and they have to. Just want to remind them that McCain was executed for crimes against humanity and treason. Okay, so many news sources were involved in calling McCain some kind of a hero. Okay, and that is disinformation. That is completely untrue, and this is how serious it is. Because they need to know that they are, that this is misinformation that they are creating to us, and that is a crime. Okay, so there is a law called misprision. Okay, misprision, you can Google this. It means the deliberate concealment of a treasonable act or felony. So basically what I'm saying is that the fake news or certain media people that have been involved in lies about McCain, saying he was some kind of hero, and trying to be involved in discrediting President Trump and making up lies. Well, basically they're involved in something called misprision, which is a crime where you deliberately conceal or misrepresent treasonous acts against us. Okay? And it's not just against the United States, it's against the entire world. Okay? I can't tell you how many news clips and news reporters in this country have been involved in saying McCain is some kind of hero. And Hollywood celebrities too. You know, it's like, really? I mean, you all were involved in misprision, where you completely misrepresented purposely information to us. Okay, so that's a crime. That's a legitimate crime that you should be charged with. Okay, so in my opinion, all of these fake news organizations should start being charged with this crime of misprision. This is one of the main reasons why I'm doing this video tonight. So the D6, okay, here's my other notes. Okay, so yeah, so the D6 was also involved in rigging elections too. They're assassinating people, rigging elections, covert paramilitary wing. Okay, so apparently the Queen of England was involved in the D6, and she also helped facilitate the coup against our great president. Okay, so I personally, I've told my story about issues I've had where I had to move from Arizona and then Minnesota, where I'm from, and then I had issues there, and then I moved to South Dakota, and then I was fine for a while, and then I started having issues there. Well, okay, so I think what's going on in South Dakota and North Dakota is there's this stronghold that is dealing with some trafficking rings that go right up through South and North Dakota into Canada, into Europe. Okay, and I think that's gone on for multiple decades, including the Queen. Okay, so what we're dealing with here is for decades, the Queen of England has been involved in this. You know, you think she isn't? Are you kidding me? So my prayer is that just, this starts being exposed and uncovered, and I believe that's what I'm dealing with, because South Dakota is a very beautiful state, and nice people and everything, but we're dealing with a stronghold there, and North Dakota, well, it goes from South Dakota to North Dakota. So, we're dealing with strongholds there that are demonic, basically, that have gone on for many decades. So, I just pray that this starts to be exposed and taken down, and that God can help us with this situation. So, but anyway, I wanted to talk about also a conversation that I had with a Sheriff Mack, who is a Sheriff Richard Mack, who is going around teaching constitutional law to other sheriffs, and he's trying to enforce the fact that sheriffs and law enforcement should be there to assist in protecting our constitutional laws in this country, which is our basic rights of freedom and safety. That they were never supposed to be there to harass people unwarrantedly. Okay. Unfortunately, I have been harassed now. It's not like I'm trying to create this, I hate the police environment, but I have personally been harassed more than 45 times, I think, where I've been like unlawfully pulled over because I'm on some kind of targeted list because I exposed McCain, I'm on some kind of list, and I just am trying to figure out, like, what in the world are these police officers doing? Like, where is this information coming from? Where they think they have the right to just harass me for no reason. It's just like, I just get pulled over for no reason constantly. Like, for no reason. It's just, and they don't even have to give a reason. They'll just be like, oh, well, just make up something. And it's just to the point where it's just completely absurd, what they think they can get away with. And so I personally think that they're probably getting information from higher sources, which are higher sources of leadership, where it's wrong information, because, okay, my understanding is that under Obama and Biden, that there was all kinds of corrupt people put into places in high power, okay, including sheriffs, okay? So you have to understand, there was a lot of corrupt sheriffs put in under Obama, Biden, and so, like, the police are probably taking orders from higher sources, and they're probably being told misinformation is my guess. So I've heard from many people, and they said that there's a lot of bad sheriffs in certain counties, and there was like good sheriffs running against the bad sheriffs, and the bad sheriffs won. There's a lot of stories like that I'm hearing, and then there's even stories that I'm hearing where good sheriffs and good police officers have been murdered or like mysteriously found dead. Okay, so even the good police are in danger. Okay, so I have always said that I'm not against police or anything. I'm just trying to figure out the situation, why I'm being targeted all the time, and they have to understand that somehow whistleblowers and targeted people have been put on some kind of list for the police to harass, and it's not okay. It's not okay because it's against our constitutional rights to be wrongfully harassed. Okay, so here's what the Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution says. The Fourth Amendment under the Bill of Rights, under the Constitution. I want to read that tonight. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated. No warrants to be issued except by probable cause. Okay? That's your right. under the constitutional law of the United States to be secure in your own homes and feel safe. Okay? Like, you don't have the right to, the police need to be retrained and reformed, in my opinion, so they understand that they cannot just unlawfully pull people over. They cannot unlawfully search people. They cannot unlawfully do some of the things they're doing because they're being told wrong information. Okay, so this, there needs to be some retraining in this area, in my opinion, of the police. Okay, so the other thing, I have some other things I wanted to share tonight. And this also goes back to McCain. Okay, so this all involved in World War II, right? Where some of this D6 stuff started happening. Okay, so, what was going on in World War II? Hitler, right? Okay, so when I went to go drive to Trump Tower to tell him, warn him some of the things that was going on in Arizona and tell him about my situation, I people that have known my story, seen some of my videos, I've been telling people about how I drove to Trump Tower in December of 2016, and I just told them, tried to warn them about what was going on in Arizona, about McCain. Okay, so when I was driving out of there, away from Trump Tower, I went past the United Nations building and in New York there, and I took some pictures, and some very unusual pictures, which I'm going to share tonight, which to me proves more of what we're going through right now, is that something demonic. Okay, because of some of the things that showed up in some pictures that I'm going to share tonight. Okay, so anyway, United Nations building. I'm driving from Trump Tower, and I just took some photos while I was in New York because I'd never been there before, and I just snapped some photos and different things. Okay, so I'm gonna share some stuff here. Okay, so this is the United Nations building. Okay, so I drove there and I took that picture, and that's in New York, and the head of the United Nations, and then there's this, so I'm turning the corner, I'm going through this bridge right around the corner. Okay, and then I don't really know why my phone went off on this bridge, because I really wasn't using my phone, I was just driving, but all of a sudden my phone went off. Okay, and I there was this really unusual picture that showed up. Okay, I'm gonna okay, let's see if we can get it. Okay. Wait. I gotta make sure you can see this one. Okay. It's not showing up. Okay. Okay, so not sure if you can see this. Oh, there we go. Okay, on the other side. Okay, so I'm driving. Okay, so all of a sudden, my camera goes off, and I see this bizarre image that shows up in my back seat. Okay, I'm not crazy. Okay, something showed up in my back seat that wasn't there. Okay, it showed up in the spiritual realm, which there was nothing in my back seat. There was nobody in my back seat. There was nothing in there. Okay, and this bizarre image shows up. Okay, you can look at it. It looks like a box, a black box. It looks like some kind of Nazi symbol and some kind of hand holding the box. Okay, so you have to understand, the pieces that I'm putting together here are that something happened in World War II where the D6 and stuff was involved in bringing scientists over to America. They didn't, and all of a sudden we became some kind of haven for German scientists. Okay, Werner von Braun, an American-German aerospace engineer, was brought over, to the United States, okay, in World War II, after World War II, okay? And I personally believe that the Third Reich has never ended. I don't believe, because not all of Hitler's people died. Some of them were brought right over here. And then they started corrupting our country here in the United States, okay? So these are some of the pieces I'm putting together, okay? So why did I see that image? How bizarre is that? If somebody has information on what they think that image is, feel free to email me, and I'll leave my email in the link, okay? And I'll send it to anybody who requests it, because I don't know what it is, and I don't know what showed up in my my back seat. But I can tell you this, that I know that United Nations building is part of the evil agenda. Okay, so maybe that's why it showed up in like a Third Reich type thing, okay? So here's and I have said this before in one of my prior videos, that the United Nations and the U.S. Post Office is part of the United Nations, and it's part of the Luciferian agenda. Okay, that is why Trump has been trying to pull out of the United Nations, or of the Universal Postal Union and different things like that. But you have to understand, these strongholds have been around for like centuries, so it's not that easy. These are the types of things that a lot of people don't understand, is that like he's doing the best he can, but these strongholds have been around for like centuries. And so anyway, what I pulled up about the New World Order agenda, and you can there's certain things you can find about the UN agendas, Agenda 21 and stuff like that. Okay, but here's what it includes. Okay, and this is what Biden wants to be a part of, and basically all the evil agenda people put in power all over the world are probably part of the United Nations evil agenda. And here, this is what it includes. Okay, a one world government, a one world cashless currency, a one world central bank, a one world military, the end of national sovereignty, the end of all privately owned property, the end of the family unit, depopulation control of population, depopulation control of populated areas. Okay, mandatory multiple vaccines, universal basis income, microchipped societies for tracking and controlling, implementation of a world social credit system like China has. Poor China. I mean, they're going through living hell, the regular citizens there. Trillions of appliances hooked into 5G. Well, Trump stopped the bad 5G over here. There were some bad effects that were supposed to happen, but they did not. Thank you, Trump. Government raised children, government owned schools, end of private transportation, all businesses owned by government. Humans concentrated into zones or cities. Okay, so to me, this kind of explains why I've had such a problem in this rural area of South Dakota, because it seems to me that they purposely put bad sheriffs or corrupt people in the outskirts or whatever, so people would be scared out of living in rural areas, because they want to concentrate people into cities. Do you understand? Okay, so they don't really want you in these rural areas where you can be like off the grid. Like where I'm at, where I found in South Dakota, I have my own well. I'm like totally like, I mean, see, that's what they don't want. They want you to be in these cities where you can be concentrated and you can be controlled. Okay, so that's one of the things that I'm realizing is that that's kind of the reason, one of the reasons why I'm being so harassed in the area that I was at in South Dakota is that they are trying to concentrate people towards the cities like Minneapolis, you know, and stuff where they had these things that they were trying to implement to control people. So people are moving out of Minneapolis. Like 500 businesses were destroyed in Minneapolis. I mean, I had my family there. 500 businesses were destroyed. Riots everywhere. I mean, people are totally freaking out. I mean, it was terrible what happened in Minneapolis. And Minneapolis used to be a very nice city, and it still is a very nice state. But it's just really, there's a lot of stuff going on. So, anyway, then the end of it is end of private farms and the end of land use for serving human needs. Okay, so this is the wonderful United Nations agenda. So, just do your research. The United Nations is not our friend. This United Nations building in New York, I mean, for God's sakes, I saw, I'm turning the corner and I see some kind of Third Reich symbol, in my mirror as I'm turning the corner from New York after I went to Trump Tower to try to warn him of some things. Okay, I mean, to me, this was like something in the spirit telling me something, picking up in the spirit that I would have never, I mean, bizarre. Like, I don't even know what that thing is, whatever that thing is that showed up in my mirror. It's something that showed up in my mirror that was showed up, it seems to be in some kind of in the spiritual realm. Okay, so I don't really know what it symbolizes, but maybe somebody can research it and feel free to email me and I can send you the picture, because I don't know what it is that showed up. But all I know is that I was just taking some pictures and I turned the corner and this thing showed up, and it was right after I saw that went to the United Nations building. It took a photo, I mean, so, just, people need to be aware. I'm just trying to bring awareness of my story and the truths that are coming out here. Okay, take care. God bless.